Okay, good evening. Some Rolling Stones for you. Give me shelter and make sure this microphone's on right. Okay. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be looking at solving rational equations, chapter 8-6. Okay, so first problem. Let me just jump right in. Looks like this. I got x over x minus 3 plus x over x plus 3 equals 2 over x squared minus 9. All right, so first thing I'd like to do is find the LCD. We already talked about this in the last section. I need all the parts of all the denominators. Now, the first thing we do is I'm going to factor this. Okay, that's a difference of two squares, x plus 3 times x minus 3. And so when I look at my LCD, I need an x minus 3. I also need an x plus 3. Over here I need an x plus 3 and an x minus 3. I have both of those in there, so I don't need two sets of them. So one set really covers it. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to multiply. Let me rewrite this so I can make a mess out of it. I have x over x minus 3 plus x over x plus 3 equals 2 over x plus 3 times x minus 3. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply everything by the LCD. All right, so I'm going to multiply this by x minus 3, x plus 3. This one I'm going to multiply by x minus 3, x plus 3. Multiply this numerator by x minus 3, x plus 3. All right, and then what I can do is I can cancel everything out. I'm going to get rid of all the denominators. What's going to happen? That one cancels out. That one cancels out. Both of these cancel out. Okay, and what happens is a beautiful thing because the denominators are gone. So what I'm left with is I'm left with the x times x plus 3 plus x times x minus 3 equals 2. That's it. Okay, so now I need to solve it. I'm not done. Wish I was done. But now I can do multiplication here, multiply this out, distributive property, that's x squared plus 3x plus x times x and x times 3 is x squared minus 3x equals 2. Okay, so I have a quadratic equation here because I got x squareds. Bring everything to one side. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is looking interesting because those 3x's there, those are canceling out. So maybe I don't want to bring everything to one side. Maybe I'll just combine my x squareds. It's 2x squared equals 2. So now, if I divide by 2, I get x squared equals 1. And I get two answers. I get x equals plus or minus 1. Okay, so we need to talk about excluded values for a moment. There are a few things that this cannot, a couple answers that this can't be. And I probably should have done this in the beginning, but that's okay. When I'm at this phase, it's good to look at these denominators and figure out, which values make the denominator 0. X cannot be 3. X also cannot be negative 3. Those two numbers will make this whole problem null and void. It won't be possible. Now, since my two answers over here are 1 and negative 1, neither one of those is the excluded values. Therefore, I am good and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2. Goes like this: x minus 1 over x squared plus 3x plus 2 plus 2x over x plus 2 equals x minus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so LCD, I need to factor this denominator here first. So Let's see, a lot of things multiply to 2, add up to 3. No, there's actually just one of them. Let's see, multiply to 2 would be 2 and 1. They're both positive, x plus 2, x plus 1. Okay, so I need both of those in my LCD. I've already got an x plus 2, I've already got an x plus 1, so this is the LCD. Okay, so let's see, if I just go, maybe I'll do this. I'll write it down. X minus 1, x plus 2, times x plus 1, plus 2x over x plus 2 equals x minus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the LCD. Sorry, just the top's x plus 1. This one x plus 2 times x plus 1. This one, run out of space, x plus 2 times x plus 1. Alright, so let's see. Cancel stuff out. These x plus 1s cancel. These x plus 2s cancel. All of these cancel. Okay, so what's left? I am left with x minus 1. Yeah, the denominators are all gone, always. Plus 2x times x plus 1 equals x minus 1 times x plus 2. Okay, so now let's multiply this out. Simplify. X minus 1 stays like that. This will be 2x squared plus 2x equals, and if you FOIL or box this out, box technique, I'm just going to FOIL it out. X times x is x squared. Outside is x times 2 is 2x. Inside is negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 2 will be the last. Which is negative 2. Alright, combine like terms, these two together gives me x minus 2 plus x squared equals, let's see, I can combine these two together. I'm going to put the 2x squared first. I like to do it in standard order, which means the highest exponent first. 2x squared is the highest one. 2x plus x, that's plus 3x minus 1. Okay, now bring everything to one side. If I subtract x squared, subtract x, add 2. Do it all in one shot here. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. Alright, finally something I can solve. Okay, so let's factor this. I get x plus 1 equals 0, which means I get only one answer. X equals negative 1. Okay, now I gotta better double back for a minute and check my excluded values. Remembering that my excluded values were anything that made the denominator 0, which I got 2 of them here. X cannot be 2, negative 2, and x can also not be negative 1. Which brings up a problem because my excluded value over here, these are the same. So x can't be negative 1, but that's my answer, which means that you throw this out and there's actually no solution. All that work to find out there's no solution. All right, so that was number 2. Number 3, x minus 1 over x plus 2 equals x squared plus 2x minus 3 over x plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to start like this. I'm going to say excluded value x can't be -2. Okay. Now, these, you can just knock those denominators out. It's just, if those two expressions are equivalent to each other, you could multiply both by the LCD, which is x plus 2, and then they'll cancel out and they're gone. So anyway, I get this. All right, you see how I did that? I just took the numerators and set them equal to each other. They have the same denominator. I can do that as long as I say x can't be any excluded values. Okay, so bring everything to one side, subtract x, add 1. Those are gone, those are gone. I got equals 0, x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, things that multiply to -2 and add up to the 1 that's right there and implied would be 2 and 1, and I want the 2 to be positive because those will add up to +1, which means I get x equals -2, x equals 1. Okay, those are my two answers. Excluded values. Oh, yep, there's one of them. X can't be -2, yet that's one of my answers here. So I have to throw that one out. So I'm only left with one answer of x equals 1. Okay. Number 4. This one, I'm going to have you guys try this one. Okay, so this one goes like this. X over x plus 1 plus 3 over x plus 4 equals x plus 3 over x plus 4. Okay, why don't you go? If you get stuck, you can watch me do it. Hit pause, come back. Welcome back. All right, so LCD is x plus 1 times x plus 4. So I'll just write it right up here. If I multiply all of that times x plus 1, x plus 4, x plus 1, x plus 4, x plus 1, x plus 4. These are gone, these are gone, these are gone. Okay, what's left? So I got x times plus 3 times x plus 1 equals x plus 3 times x plus 1. All right, so here we go. Start solving this now. All right, distributive property. X squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 3. This one you'll FOIL out or use box. If you FOIL that out, you get x squared plus 4x plus 3. Now this one works out real nice because what happens is I subtract 3x squared from both sides and they cancel. Those are gone. 3x plus 4x is 7x plus 3 equals 4x plus 3. Subtract 4x. I get 3x, subtract 3, equals 0. Interesting. So that means x equals 0 when you divide by 3. And let's check the excluded values. So you can get the excluded values right here from the LCD is probably the easiest place. X can't be -1, x can't be -4, and that's not either of the answers I got. I got 0, so I'm good. That's the answer. All right, Let me do this one. This one's number 5. This one's like kind of easier in some ways, although sometimes the easy ones are the harder ones. Okay, so LCD. Let's go to the denominator. 2 times 2. All right, so I need 2 2's. And which means I'm going to multiply this by 2 times 2, this by 2 times 2, this by 2 times 2. Keeping in mind 2 times 2 is 4. Those cancel out. One of these 2's cancel out. One of these 2's cancel out. So what I'm left with is 2 minus 2 times x is 2x. Oh, what did I cancel those for? That's not the denominator. That's not 2x. That's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. X equals x. Yeah, that's it. Okay, good. So if I add 8x to both sides, I get 2 equals 9x. Divide by 9. X equals 2 over 9. And that's the answer. Excluded values on this one, there were no variables in the denominator, so there's no excluded values. Number 6. One minus 1 over x equals 12 over x squared. Okay, so let's see, factor the denominator, that'll be x times x. LCD is x times x. So if I multiply all of these by x times x, now we'll cancel. Those cancel. That one cancels. This one has nothing to cancel. So I got x squared minus x equals 12. Okay, so bring everything to one side. So I get equals 0. So I got x squared minus x minus 12. This is working out nicely. Let's see, things that multiply to negative 12 are 6 and 2, 4 and 3. Oh, 4 and 3 look good. If I make one of them negative, I'm going to add up to the negative 1 that's in front of that x. So if I make that one negative, then they add up to negative 1, and I get x minus 4 and x plus 3 equals 0. And I get my two answers, x equals 4, x equals negative 3. Let me check my excluded values. So it looks like that one, only x can't be 0 because x and x. Those are the only things that would make the denominator 0. So these are good. Those are my answers. I got those two. Why don't you try this one? We'll make this the last problem. That's 7. Five over 12 minus 1 over 2x equals 1 over 3x. You try that one. Pause. Welcome back. Okay, so LCD. So this is, I see 2 times 2 times 3 will give me 4 times 3. So I got the 2 covered, the 3 covered. I need an x. Okay, so let's see. If I multiply everything by that, 2 times 2 times 3 times x. This one is 2 times 2 times 3 times x. 2 times 2 times 3 times x. Okay, and then cancel. 2 times 2 times 3 is 12 times x. 2's cancel. X's cancel. X's cancel. 3's cancel. Okay, let's see what's left. I got a 5 and an x. This one I got 2 times 3 is 6. This one I got 2 times 2 is 4. There we go. And I'm almost there. That turned out nice. If I add 6 to both sides, I get 5x equals 10. And x equals 2 when you divide by 5. Okay, and excluded values will only be x equals 0, since that would be the thing that makes the denominator 0. So I'm good. There's your answer. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you all soon.